Hi, YouTubers. It's Evan X Video. So with me, entering Ramble. Entering Ramble as of December 17th, 2020. So freaking cool. Anyway, continue my series on the ad-friendly guidelines. So now I want to discuss right now, and for the last time, I do not work for YouTube. General information, take it with a grain of salt. A freaking grain of salt. Anyway, I want to discuss right now hateful content. This is content that may not be suitable for advertisers. Now, what kind of hate content can get the green icon versus the yellow icon? Now, basically, generally speaking, hate against a certain, I'm reading right here, race, ethnicity, nationality, religion, disability, age, veteran status, sexual orientation, gender identity, or any other characteristic associated with systemic discrimination or marginalization. That's basically the policy. So, something to be aware right off the bat is if you are a YouTuber, nice big ass YouTuber like the Big Ass Cigar, if you promote this kind of hate, this most likely will violate the community guidelines. So you want to be very, very, very careful. Very fucking careful, because this may very well violate the community guidelines, because there are community guidelines against hate speech. Next off, so what kind of content can get the green icon versus the yellow icon? Generally for green icon, what YouTube tells us, nice big ass YouTube like the Big Ass Cigar, is content that is satire or content that is comedy that doesn't contain any slurs. So if you are joking around about a certain race, religion, nationality in a comedy way or satire way that does not include slurs, that does not include derogatory language. That kind of stuff can definitely get the green icon potentially. If you use slurs, you're likely to be limited or age restricted because you're using slurs. And slurs are nasty in general. So I try to avoid using slurs as much as possible. I mean, occasionally I do use slurs on my channel, but I try to limit them as much as possible. Next off, in terms of educational content, keep in mind what YouTube has told us is big ass YouTube like the Big Ass Cigar. Hate is a very sensitive subject, so even if it's educational, if you are showing certain imagery, you get what I'm saying. I think you know what I'm thinking about. 1940s, think about it, or 1960s, you get the freaking point. So you get the fucking point. That kind of stuff, even if it's educational, may get limited ads because you are showing very sensitive imagery, or you are showing things that are controversial. So even if it's educational, it may get limited ads because it's considered controversial and sensitive, similar to sensitive events and controversial issues. In terms of stuff, they will definitely get the yellow icon, and it will likely violate the community guidelines, is if you're using slurs in a hateful, mean way on purpose to be mean to somebody. You're screaming the N-word on camera, you're dressing up in a you-know-what costume with a white hood, that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff is likely to get the yellow icon and is definitely likely to violate the community guidelines or definitely get age restricted because that kind of stuff is just a big, big, big no-no on YouTube. YouTube encourages free speech, but does not promote hate speech. So you want to be very careful. Careful, like the Big Ass Cigar. That is the bottom line about hate speech: is educational content, potentially green icon, more likely yellow icon due to the fact that it's sensitive. Comedy, satire, as long as you're not using slurs, as long as you're not being derogatory, likely green icon. If you're being mean on purpose, you're being a complete asshole, then it's likely to be definitely yellow icon, age restricted, or taken off in a strike or a warning or termination of your account. Anyway, Big Ass Your Life, pretty freaking cool, and for the last damn time, I do not work for YouTube. Bye.